it looks like we are live.
Bon swag.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another Tuesday stream with Crispy and the MS Paint crew. I am your host, Crispy, and I'm joined by Storm Song and Andy.
Buongiorno.
And we're back to do
Hello.
Magic. Hello. I love gold.
Yes.
There we go. If the music's too loud, somebody let me know. I'll turn it down a bit. But hopefully it's not going to be. At any rate, time to
Sounds
start
pretty-
doodling.
It sounds like a pretty small amount.
That's good. Yeah, no, I have it pretty low, so just, if anyone in chat can't hear me over it, just feel free to let me know. Who all is in chat by now, anyway? Oh, 21 people. Hello, everyone that has joined. Watch as I draw a dinosaur. Because I saw the new Jurassic Park movie last week. And I felt like drawing a dinosaur. Yep. I will say, being a Jurassic Park movie, it wasn't bad. It was, it's Jurassic Park, so it's not like, as long as you go into it and realizing that, hey, it's Jurassic Park, it's gonna be a silly movie. It was
A very silly movie. Oh.
I'll definitely say this. I liked it more than the Chris Pratt ones. I only saw the first one of those, but I didn't really like it. The whole idea of, weaponized raptors was kind of stupid.
Helion asks, are we drawing dinos? To which the answer is, potentially.
Yes. Spar
there's always
gave
gonna be
me an
something-
idea.
There's always going to be that one bad guy that's like, what if we strap guns to it? What if we throw it into war? Like, Wayland Yutani?
Yeah. Well, it was like, I was watching, a couple weeks ago, we watched, what was it? It was like Sharktopus versus, Pterosaur or something like that. I forget what the flying dinosaur combination was. But the whole premise of the movie is that this plane company, this, aerospace company, the CEO decides to, instead of getting into drones or anything like that, he decides to make a genetically engineered killing machine that ends up going rogue, and yeah.
Wow, what an originary story concept.
Oh, it's Sharktopus.
Also,
So it's not like you're going to get, high art. Well, high in the sense of, narcotics, maybe, but...
Indeed.
hey, Crispy, could you stream into Discord?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to turn that on, didn't I? I knew I was forgetting something.
Helion says you need to give it a priest's collar. Meanwhile, guy on Broadway asks, Whackersaurus Rex?
I could turn it into...
Wait, is that a reference to Velocipaster?
Yes, it is. Haley knows me well.
Sensible.
It's definitely one of my favorite movies.
It's a Cookie Mama.
Hello, Cookie Mama.
Well, if a Velociraptor is the pastor, does that make a T-Rex the Pope?
Probably.
Probably. I can't say I've looked into the Judeo-Christian prehistoric church, but I forget. Don't T-Rexes? Yeah, they kind of have like that. I don't really draw dinosaurs much. Can you tell?
Fair.
Sorry.
You're more of a profound drawer of robots. The
I
other
am.
half of childhood fantasies.
Why don't you
Yes.
start by drawing a dinosaur robot and then put dinosaur skin over the robot?
I probably could. I kind of drew the Lunar Dragon mech that I did a while ago. That's got a bit of a dinosaur-ish look.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Those legs are too close together.
I think the roar of this dinosaur would be...
Oh shit!
Oh,
Just do an edit wherever the T-Rex roars is just replaced with Whacker going, man, shit. Storm, you have the power to do
dun,
that.
dun, 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 dun. Oof.
Also, I just noticed how the lines changed because I changed the size of it. Oh well.
Oh well.
I'm not nearly as concerned about
Jar Jar.
Hmm?
But Jar Jar's the key to all of it.
Well,
Key to this dinosaur.
We need a new key then, because that's a terrible thing. It's like Jar Jar's more a Pandora's box to all this. Nothing against the guy who played Jar Jar. I feel for him because he kind of had to deal with the fallout of the way that Jar Jar was, but George Lucas didn't exactly write the best character in that regard.
But Jar Jar is the key to all of it.
I don't want to know what he's the key to because it's probably like a cursed tomb.
Well, given that he might have been a Sith Lord.
See, I would have much rather preferred that than what we got. But I feel like I bitch about Star Wars enough as it is, so... I got a lot of complicated feelings, I'll just say that much.
Let's see. Rimward says the power of oof compels you. AI Jackal says a Dinonaut.
Dinosaur... Actually, Dinonaut sounds like it'd be an awesome sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or, honestly, it could be an 80s cartoon, like...
Like Dino Riders?
Yeah, I guess Dino Riders, yeah, that was kind of like a dino science fiction show, wasn't it?
Or, Dino Saucers, I think. The one where they were like dinosaur people.
Or Iron Sky 2, The Coming Race. Because...
God, what a movie.
That movie is absurdly wonderful. It's great. My favorite part is the guy who like keeps like almost dying throughout the movie, and then he dies. Like he has the peanut allergy, and they think that he's dead, and they're having the funeral, and then he busts out of the coffin and is like, "Oh yeah, used to pass out all the time as a kid. My mom buried me 3 times."
It was so dumb.
I know that movie was just like the dumbest shit, but God, it was funny. That's why I love like cheesy movies. They just can get so funny with them.
Hey, Leon informs us there was an early 90s cartoon, Dino Saucers, about smart dinos from space.
Yeah. The Mighty Ducks had like rival aliens that were kind of dinosaur-like.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the Mighty Ducks. The cartoon was much different from the movies.
Yeah, about that.
There were so many like attempts to try to recreate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. Like, we're going to take anthropomorphic aliens or animals and make them like a team of, you know, rowdy, rambunctious things.
Street
Sharks.
Oh, that's the one I remember. Extreme Dinosaur Street Sharks.
Or biker mice from outer space.
Wait, that was an actual thing?
No, biker mice from Mars. That's right, biker mice from Mars.
And yes, Crispy, it was a thing.
Wow. I should also mention that I'm drawing this T-Rex from just memory, so I don't know how T-Rexy it is, but...
I mean, you're on the rough of it.
He's mad he can't wipe.
A real slightly original one was Cowboys of Moo Mesa, where they were all like cow people.
Moo Mesa. It's like the place where the cow version of Half-Life takes place.
I'm surprised it doesn't take place in the Kowloon walled city.
Oh, that's good. That's good right there. See, I knew about Biker Mice from Mars, but it was like a Game Grumps episode that I think I heard about it from, or there was like, I guess there was a game of it, but.
You know what the funny thing is? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, do they make T-Rexes green anymore?
No, they usually make them like brownish.
Yeah,
I guess sometimes green, but
we
don't really
like
know what color they were. Like I remember there was one of the movies of Jurassic Park. Like they just started giving them weird colors.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean, nowadays, I mean, they could have had feathers at this point, for all we know. So.
Let's see.
See how well I can draw this tail.
Well, let's see.
Are you doing some dinosaur chromatic research?
Not per se. So, dinosaurs largely lived, or not dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus largely lived in what would look like dry, temperate climates.
Yeah.
Usually near riverbeds seems to be on the basis of the discovery of their locations.
Okay.
With the countries that seem to have produced the most T-Rex skeletons being the U.S., Canada, China, and Kazakhstan, and Mongolia, and Mexico. So with that in mind, we could kind of think like, kind of desert lizards or desert birds, depending on what take you're going with.
Yeah, so sort of like, that's probably good there.
Yeah, so you're probably talking about a lighter brown shade, maybe a khaki shade. But then again, some lizards and or birds were known for having really flashy colors because, hey, look at me. Especially if it's like, the males in a lot of species have really flashy body colors because of, like, pay attention to me, not the female.
Yeah.
There was, there are some that believe that the T-Rex was mostly a scavenger because they just find dead bodies and just chewed up the bones and all that. And some even go so far that they look like vultures. They had like this just big red ugly head with a black body and like.
Interesting thought. The idea of like a carrion eater being something the size of a T-Rex is wild.
So, Crispy, I'm sending this along to you. Rimward Herald just sent me the theme song to Dino Saucers.
Oh my god, hold on. I would play it, but I don't think I can play it on stream.
Yeah, no, not on stream. That's for your edification later.
Okay. Also, good lord, the thumbnail just alone, just seeing... There's so many of them.
Well, yeah, it was probably a toy pusher.
It definitely was a toy pusher, judging by their outfits.
Light browns and light greens, says Cookie Mama. That's a nice tail, says Hermit Purview.
I feel like they're thicker than that, but nah, I'm just rolling with it.
Haleon asks if you're a tail man.
In some ways, yes.
Oh, you know what dinosaur I'm gonna show you, Crispy?
Which one is that?
Denver the Last Dinosaur.
He's buried under the Denver airport.
Denver, the last dinosaur.
Why did they pick the name Denver?
My friend and a whole lot more. I don't know.
So,
God, the 80s were drugs,
maybe in
man.
the 80s something radical was happening to Denver or something like that.
That's that friggin' airport of theirs and all the weird shit going on there. I was listening to a podcast today talking about alien stuff, because of course I was, and they brought up the Denver airport.
Okay, so... But it's funny you bring up the Denver airport, because we're doing a Fallout game on Mondays set in Colorado. Of course, I live in Colorado, so that was kind of part of the DM's, notion. And we just learned where the Enclave base in the region is.
It's under the Denver airport.
It's under the DIA. So, my character apparently knew that, though I, as the player, did not. But that's because my character is ex-Enclave.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hit us with that one last night, and I could see my guitarist's face just light up because he's like, "Oh my god, you're going there!"
You guys get to go to the Denver airport and see all the weird shit.
Well, I mean, he's the one. He's playing in the game as well. What I mean by him saying that you went there is like him getting really excited that the DM was getting into conspiracy theories.
Oh, okay, yeah. I hope you go there and the giant horse has laser eyes.
We have theories that somebody's probably turned it into power armor at this point.
Oh, that's horrifying. Just a giant horse-shaped Liberty Prime.
Yep. So, let it be known that Lucifer is regarded as the guardian spirit of the Colorado Bronies.
Yeah.
Haleon asks, Lucifer is the leader.
Alright. I don't even know if Spar's watching chat today, but much like the Mother in the Omen, I did this all for you.
Why is he carrying paper? Also, why does he have 3 fingers?
Because I don't remember how many fingers T-Rexes actually had.
T-Rexes only have 2.
Yeah, the one's a thumb.
No.
They didn't have thumbs.
Oh, they did?
Oh
my god.
Yeah, as far as we know, like...
My mind is blown. I could have sworn they had fucking thumbs.
No, that was the Allosaurus. And that's that shit I knew when I was in my, kid age, where I, studied dinosaurs stupidly.
I probably would have gone down the route of dinosaurs were it not for shows like Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Because I think I was really into dinosaurs back then, too.
I wanted to be a paleontologist as a kid, but I'm glad I didn't get into that, because I don't really think they do that much anymore, I
don't know. I suppose it really depends. I feel like there's gotta still be paleontologies. I mean, I don't think it's a dead science.
No,
there is. It's I'm pretty sure they actually have quite a bit of work they do.
Yeah.
Oh, Cookie Mama tells us that they have started using LiDAR.
Ooh. That's pretty sweet.
There was that, in the movie, they were showing, how they're, making explosions to kind of...
Yeah.
Bounce.
That was the original, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I mean, that's probably how they used to do it.
Back when it had a plot.
And,
no, the new
main
one
character
had a plot.
was the main character was like, this is going to take over our jobs, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the new one had a plot. It wasn't much of a plot. It was basically, we're going to this island to get samples from the dinosaurs so we can cure heart disease. And it turns out the guy that sponsored this is a rich asshole. And then there's a family thing going on, because there was a family that got rescued before they went to the island. It's a whole thing, but... I mean, as far as Jurassic Park goes, it's not a terrible movie, I don't think. The weird, kaiju dinosaur at the end was weird, but... Anyway. So, now, I'm going to draw something that Storm wanted me to draw. Which was... what exactly, Storm?
A Scottish and/or Amish Fremen.
Ah, yes. The famous Scottish Fremen, Holden McCracken.
Cruel, but good name choice.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about it all day. Alright. Oh, hi, buddy. Sorry, my kitty has come to say hi. He just headbutted my leg for pets, so I have to give him ear scritches real quick.
Yay!
Little
Scritchy.
putters. Yeah, Pudding's a good boy when he's not climbing the screen door or knocking shit off the shelves. Hi, buddy. I wish I had like a little bed for him to sit next to me while I draw, but he'd just end up climbing on my desk and just getting into things. Anyway.
Such is the way of pet.
Yes. He is quite the goblin.
Muscle mice.
Muscle mice? Is that another show from the 80s?
No, but you would think so. Just the biker mice from Mars thing has me think of it. No, it's this weird moment in Demon Slayer, in the anime Demon Slayer, where one of the characters is able to summon mice, and the mice are all bodybuilders. Because this is apparently something that ninjas have access to. But
Ninjas
apparently, yeah, but apparently only the most narcissistic mice can be trained to be bodybuilders.
Interesting.
And so there's a scene where you just see these two really muscular mice, like, carrying the guy's sword to him.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of, like, pun there, because the Japanese humor is full of pun, and, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're, like, words that, like...
I would not be surprised either, now that you say it.
Oh, yeah, actual gym rats. Okay, that's good.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense then.
Oh.
Yeah, now you get it, Storm.
When a furry and... Samurai! Bad!
What did he say?
When a furry and a leather daddy combine kinks.
Oh, God. I don't want to think about that costume. Turns into 50 Shades of Nay.
Ah! My people get tormented enough. Why must you add to this, Crispy?
Let my people go.
I will never let your people go.
God, they don't make cartoons like they used to. Not to sound old as fuck, but...
Indeed.
Something about... Like, I'm not a musical guy, but Prince of Egypt was a great movie.
Well, that's because the... You know what? I'm gonna reveal a little bit about my personality here.
No.
There's something... Yeah, there's something to be said for musicals where the author actually gives a damn.
Yeah. I guess I gotta give him like a still suit look. He's definitely wearing a still suit under the kilt because water conservation on Arrakis is important.
Oh, so there was another cartoon series called Extreme Dinosaurs.
That one I do remember as a kid, very vaguely. I also remember the toys for Exo Squad, but I never watched the show, I think.
That one is well remembered by many.
Yeah. And also, I think they're the same people that did the Battletech cartoon, because they put out toys for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which, it's pretty wild that Battletech had a cartoon when you think about it. It'd be cool if it did have it.
So did Dungeons and Dragons, and so did,
Yeah, fair.
I mean, Battletech does have potential for, like, with all the different kind of mechs, you know? Like...
Battletech has the potential for a lot. It could be, like... I mean, it's Game of Thrones in space, really.
I can hear the sound of 1,000 voices groaning and then going silent.
It's Game of Thrones, but it actually has a good plot to it, and then...
It's finished? Well, no, never mind.
And they don't get too up their own ass about the realism to the point it's like, we're going to make our final battle so dark because it's realistic, even though no one's going to be able to see it.
Well,
Still want to know whose idea that was.
I can see the idea had merit up to a certain moment.
Yeah.
And then it needed to not be what they were doing.
It really didn't need to be that. And, like, I didn't see a lot of Game of Thrones, I'll be honest. I only saw, like, towards the end, which is probably not the way you're supposed to watch it, but I knew enough about the show at that point to not care, and I'm not really a big fantasy guy anyway, I'm more into sci-fi. But despite all that, I had a pretty good idea of the plot, and just to see where they went with it and how it ended, it's like, there was no way they were going to be able to wrap up a show like Game of Thrones in a season.
Yeah, no, it needed four seasons for what they did in the final two.
Which they didn't do, because that would be extrememly costly to do, and it was already an expensive show, I'm pretty sure. Plus the actor budgets.
Well, it goes beyond that. There were three things working against it. One was that the creators wanted to move on to the Star Wars project, which they never actually ended up being involved in. The show was basically at the crest of its viewership. Like, it was still profitable, but you can kind of tell when a show's going to start going downhill in that regard.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then on top of that, most of the actors who were engaged in these long-term contracts were starting to get exhausted and starting to be looking towards the horizon of other jobs.
Yeah.
And some of them actually even got those later.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I don't want to necessarily talk ill of George R. R. Martin. I'm sure he's a guy that really cared about his work, and, he put a lot of work into those books, obviously, but it's just like, I think it just got too big for him, and I don't think he's ever really going to be able to finish the series, especially after how the show went,
Oh, yeah, no, the show has probably killed the books. I could be wrong, but...
I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to just talk shit, because I feel like it's very easy to do that, and there's a lot to it that you probably don't know about the situation.
Oh,
as it is. But I don't know, it just makes me think about stuff, it's like, I've got things I'm working on, like I've got the comic project I really want to start doing and getting that going. And it's stuff like that I think about, where it's like, granted, I'm not thinking like I'm going to get nearly as big as Game of Thrones. Dear God, no. I don't even know if I want that kind of attention. But it's like with a big project like that, it just makes you think about, how you do things, how far you want it to go, where you want to take it,
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll admit, like, I have a pretty good idea of how I want to do things, but, I don't really know how to tie it all up, I guess. And, the whole Game of Thrones thing kind of just makes me think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Also makes me think I can't draw hands right now. God damn it.
There are few who can.
Not very easily, no. I mean, we were just talking about that the other day, I think, on the Knox and Plug podcast. About hands being difficult. Or we might have been talking about it on stream. I don't remember. I'm bad with remembering things sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Wow, thanks. I knew I could count on
Who are you people? Get out of my house!
You know what I do remember, Storm? Where to toss the 380. I'll see you in hell.
You misunderstand, Crispy. I don't toss the 380 at my friends because I'm forgetful. I toss it at them to make them stronger.
That's what I mean. I'm just... Remember this next time we're playing Helldiver's.
If you can dodge a 380, dodge a bug.
God. It's gonna cut to us playing Helldivers next time. We're just playing bombardment tag with each other.
I've done that before with...
Oh, I know. I think I've been on the other side of it.
I'll give you a guess who I played it with.
I'm gonna guess it was Mike.
It was Hammer.
Yeah.
Yep, search your feelings. You knew it to be true.
Hammer team kills me, like, every time we play. I don't think it's always intentional, but it's just like... when I drop with Hammer, I know it's gonna happen. Like, the last time we played, I just exploded. It's like, what are the odds? It was Hammer.
It happens to me every time. So, for the rest of you in the audience, Hammer's a wonderful guy. He really is. But he has
he's great.
No team awareness. Yeah, what's with guys named George fucking up their own settings?
You know, that's an excellent question. I mean, with George Lucas, I think part of it was that he, I don't think he necessarily appreciated the people that helped him make Star Wars what it was, and thought he could do it all himself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just my speculation, but just what I know about George Lucas now versus like when I was younger, because I used to like really look up to George Lucas when I was a kid, because I thought he was like a genius and everything, and then it's like you kind of learn more, and it's like, oh no, he actually, like, his wife helped out quite a bit. He had people around him that kind of like
balanced him
out, where it's like, you know, it's why I'm glad, like, I mean, I think I've said before on stream, Hallian's helping me write the comic, and I'm glad I have, like, someone to bounce ideas off, because it kind of gets you to think outside your own head when it comes to shit like that.
Well, it's why, like, I made an arrangement with Lady Red as I'm working on the musical. She's going to kind of pre-edit it for, like, story content, help me make sure my story's going into the right directions, because, well, one of the difficulties is it's a little deceptive to call it just a musical. It's going to be a rock opera, full on, full send, but...
A bohemian rock opera?
In the medieval sense of the word bohemian. But no, in the sense that it's long enough that it's not going to be movie length. It's going to be more like episodic, like TV show length.
An episodic musical. Huh.
It's not as absurd as it might sound, but it is definitely going to be effort on my part.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a lot. Because you not only got to think about story, you got to think about, like, music and all that.
Themes coming back and being referenced on themselves, and...
Yeah. I forget what a Chris knife... Actually, you know what? I don't even want to say I forget what a Chris knife looks like, because it changes all the friggin' time.
Yeah. Most depictions is that the blade curves in an S fashion, kind of serpentine.
Yeah, something like that, kinda. I do like the portrayal of it in the new one. There's actually a lot of stuff I like the portrayal of in the new Dune movie. I know it's kind of divisive. I do wish it had more color to it, but I think a lot of the visual stuff they got nailed in my regard, or my perspective.
My one complaint about the new Dune movie... Okay, no, I have two complaints. And this is where I'm going to be a little bit crispy talking about Star Wars here for a second.
Oh, that's fine.
I actually, for the most part, approve of how they did the new Dune movie. For the most part. Hey, Ramshackle. Hey, AI Jackal. So, my biggest gripe with it is, at the same time, my biggest praise. One is, it is difficult to put that story into a presentable amount.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the sci-fi miniseries, which I think did the best adaptation, took 4.5 to 6 hours, depending on what cut you have of it. David Lynch's had to be cut down to 2 hours from around a 3-hour movie. If you watch the completely uncut version, it's about 3.5 hours. And then, to top that all off, you have the original that they were going to make, and that was going to be... Yeah, the Jodorowsky one was going to be just like a day long, essentially.
Oh my god.
And then even the Villeneuve one is 2 movies long. It's basically 5 hours. So telling that story in a way that a modern audience, and I don't mean modern audience in that capital M sense, just a modern audience, think of modern attention spans and so forth. Being able to tell that story and adapt it to book form, I think the movie actually did a really good job. Like, it actually... It trims down, conveys the plot, gets all the key points. However, in doing so, it loses out on a very good portion of what makes the book good. This is one of the things I actually think that the David Lynch one did a really good job of, was the inner monologue. Because if you read the book, these characters are actually really lonely because they're constantly trying to think one step ahead and not sure who they can trust. They don't talk about things to each other. And, that's kind of the life these characters are living. You don't get any of the richness of that, like, inner monologue. The Sci-Fi Channel pulls it off by having it made more explicit and said in outer monologue, etc., etc. So it loses out a lot on it. And then whereas the previous two Dunes understated some of the horrificness of Paul and Jessica's actions, the new one overstates it. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not the good guys. They're also not the heinous supervillains. Everyone in that story is kind of a not so great person. And Paul and Jessica just happen to be the two that win. Now, with that said, this is my other big gripe. Can Zendaya play a character other than Zendaya? Because the answer is no. The answer is unequivocally no.
She does seem to play the same character, yeah.
And it's particularly upsetting because both the Sci-Fi Channel depiction of and the book version of Cheney is such a badass character. And it's like, we're talking Ripley from Aliens level, like, badass female character. And instead she's they have Zendaya basically do this out of a tin can, quote, strong female character that is in no way compelling, isn't actually strong, and barely constitutes a character.
I could be wrong on this, but I think that a lot of that has to do with that she wasn't in the first book, and I think that they really, like, tried to negotiate with her contract or whatever to get her more attention in the newer one, or in part 2. And I think that might contribute to a lot of that, but again, that's just me spitballing. I do not know that for any sort of certainty. That's just my guess. But I do agree with you that, like, I do kind of like what they did in terms of showing, from her perspective, she sees Paul going the way that he did. But at the same time, considering how things go in the later books with their relationship, it's kind of counterintuitive to continuing things on in part 3, which I know they're making.
Yeah, and that's a good part of it. And so, yeah,
like, her having issues with stuff Paul is doing, like, I'm fine with using her as perspective for some of that, but just, like, going on from, like, loving Paul to hating him, it's just,
it's... Yeah.
And again...
In the book, it's made very clear that she is not a jihadi the way that Stilgar is, and she's not, like, an anti-jihadi the way she's portrayed in the movie. She's loyal to Paul and to their children, who, it should be noted, their first child is murdered, and that was excluded from the movie.
Yeah, they don't reference that at all.
Yeah. So yeah, there's just a lot of this, like, we didn't get Cheney, we got Zendaya, number 786.
We really... I can agree with you on that. It's like, maybe Zendaya can act. I don't want to say she can't, but I do definitely agree that there is definitely a lot of that sort of portrayal that she does in movies, which, for Spider-Man it's one thing, but for something like Dune, there's just, like, a lot to the character that's a bit more, I want to say, nuanced, And I don't really have a lot of problem with a lot of the changes that Villeneuve made, because like you said, Dune is not something that you are going to be able to fit into a 2-hour movie. You're just not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of, you either have to extend how long you're going to portray the movie or portray the book, or you have to, divide it up into parts.
Okay, and actually, I can think of one more complaint, but that is more from a filmmaking perspective, which is, Sweet Christ, is the pacing difference between the two movies cause for whiplash.
That's true, yeah. A lot happens in the second movie that is just so quick compared to the first. Which, again, it's like a lot happens in the first parts of the book, and there is a time skip, to be fair, in the book later on. But, you know, I do agree that the first book, I don't know. I don't want to say one way or the other, because part of it too is like there was a bit of world building in there that you kind of had to do in order to get people into it that didn't know the book series. So, slight funny thing real quick is my friend at the time, my one friend, his girlfriend at the time, when the trailer came out, she was like, I mean, she was kind of an airhead if I'm honest, but she was like, "Oh my God, Jason Momoa's in this movie! I can't wait to see it." I'm just like, yeah, about that. I wouldn't get too attached to his character. At least not until the part 3.
Yeah, it really is a shame though that they killed him off. Like they should bring his character back or something that really help it sell.
Oh my God.
There have been articles about this.
I know, I've seen them. I'm like, are you people stupid?
It's almost like journalists often don't actually read the content they're writing about.
Definitely not journalists in filmography.
Entertainment in general, I would say.
Entertainment, yeah. I don't know why I said filmography, because, as someone once said, you can't spell ignorant without IGN.
You know, that is completely fair.
Let's see here. I gotta do this chin right for my reference I'm using. This is becoming more involved than I thought it was going to be, but, you know. Such a stream.
Yeah.
There's times where I'll just start a doodle thinking like, oh, this will be nothing, and then like hours have passed. I'm like, what year is it?
See.
Yes, what does chat say?
Ramshack Old says, there's one movie I can fault for its pacing, and that's Danny Trejo's Machete movies. Good movies, but their pacing is like a coke trip going left faster than NASCAR.
Oh,
That there is a description, my good sir.
that is... I need to remember that description. Hold on here.
You know what would be a funny reversal of this art?
What?
Like, you know the Scotsman from Samurai Jack?
Yeah?
To draw him as a Fremen.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, Andy, because I have been referencing a certain Scotsman, but it's not the one from Samurai Jack.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's not the one for The Simpsons, is it?
No, it's not that one either.
This spices earth!
That would be...
says-
No. No, it's
Woman, grease me up!
No, it's a certain one-eyed explosives expert from Team Fortress 2 that I've been looking at for this picture. I didn't want to tip my hand so soon, but... My God, he has a chin. He has such a magnificent chin.
I wouldn't know.
You've never played TF2, huh?
No, and I don't know about having a magnificent chin.
Well, I can't help you with that one, but I can say I did enjoy TF2 back in the day. I don't know about how it is nowadays, but
I like how some of the TF2 like source videos are just
Source is wild, dude.
this one guy made one that was like an absolute art piece. It's like it's almost a shame that it was made using like TF2 characters because it would have been like
What was it?
I
seen
don't know. It was almost like some sort of psychological like
Some sort of psychological
it's like
thriller.
psychological thriller or something like that where I wish I kept it or kept the link to it because it was like
I mean, I've seen some stuff made with Source that it's just like it's better than movies I've seen, if I'm honest.
oh yeah.
Like, do you guys
Cookie
remember War of the
says-
Servers?
No. Cookie says, I still say that Scott Fremen wouldn't wear kilts because sweat collection.
Oh no,
My son showed me
that's
some meme
I
videos.
agree.
Some of them are hilarious.
I say they could wear the kilt on the outside of the still suit.
That was what I was kind of going for, but what was I gonna say? Oh, so War of the Servers was this version of War of the Worlds they made in Gmod, and it was like Gmod, like a Gmod sort of parody of War of the Worlds, and it was like a feature-length movie they made as like a Gmod machinima back in the day. And I remember watching that, and I enjoyed it. You know, that was back before it even got Gary's Mod. Because I was a weird kid when it came to internet culture. I'll just say that much. It's just like the way that I found stuff was weird. Like, the reason I'm in this community is because I discovered 1D4chan, and then I discovered Space Station 13 through that, and then one thing led to another. It's like weird shit like that. It's just weird the way you find things, you know? God, I rip 1D4chan, man. That website was fun. They had so many fun descriptions for shit. I guess there's like 1D8chan now, but I haven't really gone there.
I think my favorite thing from that was the Angry Marines. Back when I still kind of cared about 40K.
I mean, that's the reason I actually found it, was because back in, like, when I was, I think I was a freshman or sophomore in college, I was, like, looking to get into Warhammer 40K. That's before I realized just how insanely expensive it was, and then I went over to War Machine, which, God, I miss Mark II. But while I was looking for 40K stuff, just, like, online to get a better idea of the lore and everything, I found 1D4chan. And I just, like, started going on there because it was funny. It was funny with all the articles and stuff. And then I found this game on there called Space Station 13, which I was like, that's fun. I'm gonna check that out. And then I started playing that. And then one day I'm on there, and this guy is on there. His name's Randolph P. Checkers, and he's like, "Hey, I'd seen him around for a while." And then he's like, "Hey, I have a YouTube channel." And I was like, "What?" And then he shared it in the chat or whatever, and I went there. And, you know, one thing led to another, and now I'm here.
The rest is history, as they say.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it just cuts to Diggs in another room beating the crap out of Tex. So it's your fault! Nah, they're good friends. They wouldn't do that to
They
each
are.
other. Well, actually, no, they're good friends. They would do that to each other.
I do want to see them WWE Super Slam fight, but I don't want to have to pay the medical bills for after that.
Oh, we don't need medical bills. That's what we have Psydoc for.
Oh yeah,
Note,
right.
Psydoc would kill me if you heard me say that.
Psydoc's like, you're gonna want to bite down on this.
Trust me, it helps. I know.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Ew, crows. It shouldn't look like that.
Oh, jeez. Don't show me. I don't want to think about that.
It's too late, man. We've
Plus,
seen
shouldn't look like that.
I think the best quote I've ever heard about the internet was from Workaholics, where it's like, we've all seen penises we weren't meant to see.
1 second. I am getting.
So, you know how we like, you know how we like to joke about. You know how we would joke about
we don't joke here.
GPL wacky races.
Oh yeah, which I would love if we made it.
Have you noticed the influx of the popularization of this, like, it's a video game that came out, but I think it was like an anime series or probably a manga series about like horse girls racing?
No. I'm scared to ask.
I return in time for Horse Girls Racing.
Yeah, racing horse girls. It's like it's a video game, and you know they've got like the pretty girls, but they're all like horse girls, and they're running, and like people play it, and they're like throwing a fit over watching them win and all that. And the funny thing is some of the characters are apparently based off of real life racing horses. Like there's one called Gold Ship, which is apparently a weird horse that does weird.
Can we go back to the part about like the girls racing are also horses? Because I'm still trying to process that part.
This is anime. You're surprised.
Remember, there's an anime where the characters are tanks. Right?
I am certain I could go to certain parts of the internet and find plenty of relevant information on that I don't want in my head.
Let's see. Ramshackle says, we draw a guy, then give him the head outline of the handsome Squidward, then give it a Furby face.
Well, I know what I'm drawing next. I haven't drawn a Furby on here in a while, actually, now that I think about it. Guy on Broadway in reference to what you were just talking about, and Andy, it's gambling. It's just fucking gambling. It really is.
Ramshackle says, it's game based off anime, think Catgirl, but it's horse instead.
I don't want to think about that, because I've seen certain videos on the internet that make me not want to think about horses in that way. Well, if you know what video I'm talking about, I'm gonna hand it to you, so...
No, please.
No.
Sorry, hands it to you.
No!
I don't, after a certain somebody showing me what happens when a train hits a donkey, I don't want to watch stuff like that.
That fucking video.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, do actually be careful what you look up on the internet. Jeez. It's not like I should have to tell anyone here that, but really...
Yeah, also, don't stand on railroad tracks. The train always wins. Much like gambling at the house.
Bullshit. If Final Fantasy VI taught me anything, it's that you can suplex a train if you kung fu hard enough.
If Factorio taught me anything, it's the train always fucking wins.
So, let's see, we have to get Sabin...
Did the train, like, plow through a tank that was stuck on a rail?
Yeah.
Trains don't give a single fuck. They've literally had... Okay, so they've literally, in order to test the safety of nuclear... Like, the caskets that they dispose of nuclear material in, they will hit them with a train to show that they are durable enough. Like...
Sabin is a special case storm, as Cookie Mama says.
Yeah. So it was the Soul Train, and, you know, if you think about it, it might have been a living entity, which, you know...
So is a blue whale!
It's a soul
Yeah, they shoved dynamite in that fucker.
Oh god. Dynamiting beach whales.
I mean, you know... I wouldn't be surprised if Sabin... I wouldn't be surprised if Sabin
in real life.
Blue whale.
Oh my god, I just had a horrible idea for a Delta Green game where it's like Star Trek, where they go back in time to save the whales, but they end up, like, dynamiting a whale.
So they only brought back 2, right?
Yes.
They brought, I guess. Why did they need to bring back the whales again? Was it to
because, like, there was a superior alien species as, like, you have whales here? No? Okay, we're gonna wipe you out.
Yeah,
so the whales were primitives of a species that had been seeded on multiple planets. It was the more advanced ones coming to check in on their species, only to realize that they were gone. And it's implied in some of the secondary source material, which means don't take this as canon, take this as, like, beta canon, that they weren't actually angry at humanity. They didn't recognize that there was another race living there now, and were like, well, time to start over. And we're going to essentially terraform the entire thing again.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Well, yeah, so are we. Star Trek is interesting because of how they separate their canons, because there's they separate it the way Federation scientists would, and they catalog it meticulously.
One of my favorite sci-fi tropes that I got from the original Star Trek series was the giant whale or worm-shaped planet eater. That's like a basking shark, and it just swallows a planet.
Yeah, the World Eater.
And I always wanted to try that in games like Space Engineer. Just make a giant gaping maw that just tears through planets.
Oh wait,
yes.
no, the Planet Killer was its proper name. The World Eater is from another part of Star Trek.
World
to be
Eater
honest-
reminds me of the one D&D game I played in where we had to fight an undead Tarrasque. That was a fun time.
Ugh.
Yeah,
The title of the episode was... Oh, sorry.
No, we basically we had to recreate the battle where it was killed in order to kill it again. It was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to ask you guys a weird. I guess it would be a sci-fi moral question, but that it's not quite so sci-fi
boy.
because
I love
far.
I love the sci-fi
Yeah.
trope problem.
What do you guys think of planet cracking for minerals? Definitely not an inhabited planet.
My entire question to that is why? Why would you crack the planet? Because there's how many asteroids in space that you could go to where you can mine resources from?
Well, I wonder if there are people in the chat, or even in the BPL, who are much smarter than us, who probably know that a planet would
No, I don't
probably
think that's
have
possible.
access to rare materials. What?
Yeah, if you've got element 115, deep cut for whoever gets that fucking reference.
Rail asked, "Is this what I think it is?" To which Blue Gentleman said, "It would be way too much work for what you can get out of an asteroid."
Really, I was gonna. Oh no! I thought he was saying that asteroid mining was too hard. Never mind, I get it. Okay, yeah, no, I'm with him on that. It's like why unless there was a specific mineral on that planet you couldn't find anywhere else.
Unobtainium.
Oh god.
Well, how many asteroids have gold sitting in them? You know.
I mean,
Quite a
there's
few,
there's the Midas asteroid, which is apparently a large amount of gold in an asteroid.
Oh. Are there asteroids with lithium in them? Are there asteroids with copper? I know we have plenty of iron-based.
Yeah. But yeah, once we can actually figure out how to asteroid mine and we can send ships out to the belt, that would be a game changer. I mean, that's a huge amount of steps. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, that's not going to be something that you're just going to be able to do. But
It's why, for example, in my setting, the limiting factor on building ships and mechs isn't resources; it's human resources.
makes sense.
You don't
and
have
automation,
giant 3D printer space stations.
No, because I'm kind of against technology that makes it that convenient.
Yes, the Anti-Automation Act that was in my sci-fi setting.
Well, it's not so much the Anti-Automation Act; it's that there are 3D printer kind of equipment in the setting, and that definitely exists. But honestly, the image of a mech being printed is far less interesting to me from a purely aesthetic level than watching these, men handcraft this mech. Sure, some of the parts are, mass-produced.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Storm. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Well, and it's supposed to be that feeling of, a knight watching their mech be built to rebuilt or repaired should be the same as a knight watching their armor made, watching their horse be shod, watching their sword be sharpened. It should have intimacy.
In that way, I can absolutely understand it. I mean, I could definitely see. Honestly, I could see both, depending on how you want to handle it in the setting. I mean, you could have the more handcrafted stuff as a more artisanal thing, and then you could have the more easy mass-produced 3D printed stuff.
Yeah.
I think 3D printing is interesting, and I'd love to see more of it in sci-fi. But I definitely agree with more like you want it to be like in terms of 3D printing. Like I get what you're saying though in terms of the mechs. Like if you're gonna 3D print stuff with the mechs, it'd just be like individual components, not like you're just 3D printing the entire thing in just one big like fabrication chamber.
Well, that, and I should also wind myself back. The choice of the word 3D print does indicate part of what you guys are thinking. Really, it's that I avoid replicators as a concept.
Gotcha. Which I'm with you there too, so I totally get that.
Yeah. Like, there are 3D printers in the setting, for example, that will turn nutrition material into things that vaguely taste like the food they're meant to impersonate.
We've transmuted these baboon assholes into chicken McNuggets.
Well, it's more like generic protein paste or generic vitamin paste kind of stuff that...
Cornstarch!
No, the Imperials would find that distasteful.
Oh, what a bunch of pussies.
Correction, deeply unethical.
They need a Buffalo Bill or two in there, just be like, yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, the reason I ask is, like... I never liked the idea of, like, harming at least a planet. Like, maybe a planetoid that's on, like, the very furthest reaches, but, like...
No.
Especially, like, I'd especially be against the one that's, like, capable of, like, being terraformed.
Yeah, I definitely feel like nowadays it's kind of... I could be wrong about this. Maybe that's just my own perception of things. But I feel like nowadays it's definitely gotten more the way of, like, asteroid mining and stuff. At least, like, in The Expanse, for example, they definitely do more asteroid mining than anything. Because you have belters just mining out asteroids. And then you have, like, Ceres, which was a planetoid that... I mean, you have, like, the whole opening of the series where you have a guy that's just kind of giving, like, a belter propaganda speech saying how Ceres was covered in ice that was stripped mined away. But
well, also feel like asteroid mining would be a lot easier because zero grav, and you've got these little manageable chunks, quote unquote, that you could just grab. Whereas, like, if you watch Dead Space, the Ishimura had to like use some form of tractor beams to lift up these island-sized chunks, and like the only way I can see it is if they knew that this island-sized chunks had a greater amount of resources in it than a damn like asteroid would, which I don't know.
The thing about Dead Space that it's
grim dark.
Well, it's more like I'm thinking of Mandalore Gaming's take, where it's like the whole idea of Dead Space is that they like humanity is so starved for resources they have to kind of resort to cracking a planet. Because it's a quick and easy way to get what they need. But that also, I don't know canonically what
resources are we starving for.
We gotta get that sweet lithium so we can huff it. I don't know. I never really played Dead Space. I just thought the aesthetics and everything were cool because they had cool spacesuits and shit. I'm also trying to draw the dinosaur from the new Jurassic Park from memory.
Yeah, so it is worth noting that when you do something like that in the sci-fi, you are often kind of making an aesthetic statement about the setting. I don't know Dead Space enough to say for certain what their intent might have been, but if I was looking at that from the outside in, which I am, my guess would be that it's sort of saying, like... It's not quite saying life is cheap, but it's somewhere in that vein of, like... like, cracking a planet is nothing to these people. Parentheses, also some space horror.
I think you're onto something there with the life is cheap space horror end of it, because another thing that Mandalore points out, and I don't know, I mean, I'm just using it as a reference point, I'm not a fucking expert, but, like, he points out how there's a lot of, like, ribbing design in Dead Space. Like, you see it a lot with the spacesuits, but even, like, the Ishimura, it's very skeletal looking in its appearance.
Oh, well, yeah, that was that way for artistic purpose. Ramshackle, I'm gonna look it up because, like, when I say island, I guess I mean like sand shore, one person. So let me look it up.
Yeah. And I mean, artistic stuff, I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dead Space. It was a good story.
No,
I mean,
I think
it's weird how like the monsters go from being horrifying to an annoyance, because like that's the thing about horror that you have to be careful with. Like, you know, especially when you get a gun. Like, but they still manage that. You know. And it's
Yeah,
funny
no,
how Isaac becomes like, oh, not these things again, you know?
yeah, well, I mean, there's a bit of a comparison between, like, the Aliens franchise and Dead Space in terms of how things go. So, I don't want to necessarily just say Dead Space could have done better, because, I mean, I can definitely see where the influences came from. At least until we get to, like, Dead Space 3, because Dead Space 3 had a lot of issues with it. The microtransactions being a huge one. But, you know, there's like a point behind it, essentially. It's like they were kind of going for a thing with Dead Space 1 and 2 in terms of what they were doing.
And yeah, that's the case with a lot of these things. Like, if you really stop and think about every little decision that an artist makes when they're designing something, there's usually a substantial number of choices in play.
First of all, God, I hate that I'm saying this considering what you made the fucking stream description, but as an artist, I can definitely attest to that. Side note for the audience, I get Whacker and Co. tend to say as an artist a lot to get under my skin because I said it once and I am the hipster that drinks IPA apparently. But,
well, okay, Whacker did it to get it under your skin. I do it because I just follow the crowd.
You're a fucking shyster is what you are. But oh God, I don't even remember where I was going with this. God damn it.
I said something about every little decision that you make in your art as an artist.
So with stuff that I draw, I do tend to put a lot of thought in it, and sometimes, especially when it comes to my own world building setting and everything, I put way too much thought in it. Like, and part of that also just has to do with my obsessive compulsive disorder. Just straight up. Like, I've spent way too much time overthinking stuff that most people will probably not even pay attention to in a setting. Like, the thing that's been kind of on my mind this week is I've been just, like, racking my brain trying to distinguish, like, different types of armor from one another, even though most people probably won't care other than, like, is it the same color and is it vaguely different, you know? And I know that, but it's just, like, that's just kind of the hole I find myself getting into, just because, like, I want things to... And it's really, honestly, I think it kind of speaks to just, at least from my perspective in terms of the disconnect, where you kind of have an idea in your mind's eye of how you want things to go, but, you know, how it turns out when you actually put pencil to paper is different, and that can kind of affect your, you know, opinion of how things come out in the end, which, it, to some degree, like, I definitely think you want to kind of not go with the first draft and you want to kind of keep tweaking things. But at the same time, and I'm not saying this from a position of experience because I'm really bad at this, but at a certain point you just need to say fuck it and just be like, it's good enough. I'm just going to roll with this.
No, it's true in every art. It's true in music.
Yeah. Also, I already messed up this dinosaur because he's... So, this thing is weird because it's like, it's the Cloverfield monster if it had, like, a telepathic brain. Because it's got, like, this giant forehead to it, and then it has, like, 4 limbs. It eats Orlando Bloom at one point. Which is, that's another thing, too, about the new Jurassic Park movie, is Orlando Bloom is the main bad guy in it. And I didn't realize it was Orlando Bloom until, like, I want to say 10 minutes into the movie. Because he just looks... different now. Like, he almost kind of looks like Antonio Banderas now in a way.
But he has a similar.
He has
a similar facial structure.
I was like, this guy looks familiar. Who the fuck is this guy? And then I was like, oh my god, it's Orlando Bloom. Like,
well,
my wife even was like, at a certain point, my wife just turned to me, and was like, is that Orlando Bloom? And I'm just like, I think it is.
Yeah, that was one of the things I found hilarious about. Have you ever seen the movie Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
Not realizing that was Tom Cruise until the end.
That was another one too. Oh, hold on one second. Who the fuck is that?
0.6 kilometers long.
Okay, so slight retcon. I was wrong. That was not Orlando Bloom. That was an entirely different guy who kind of looks like Orlando Bloom that my wife just clarified for me. So forget everything I just said.
Who are you?
I don't remember. I think I'm this thing.
Unfortunate.
I might have to do deeper research to find out how big that chunk was, because the closest thing I can find is how big was the Ishimura, which is 1.6 kilometers long.
I remember something about a trillion sun-ton payload.
Yeah, it sounds like it, because they had to have those weird like tethers. Remember, like those four like anchor tethers, like light tethers.
The gravity tethers that they essentially just like pulled part of the planet out from underneath like it was a wine cork.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird and it's impractical, but man, it's kind of cool that they can crack a planet. It's like one of my favorite things that I really wish got more love in Star Wars was the World Devastators, which it's something from the comics, like the expanded universe comics, when Palpatine comes back, because that is something that Disney actually did not just come up with on their own. They kind of ripped that from old canon, albeit in a really poorly written way. But when Palpatine returns, he makes these weapons called the World Devastators, which is essentially this just giant automated factory that strip mines planets and builds Imperial war material with it. Like, imagine the Starforge from Knights of the Republic, but spoilers, Star. But
actually, we're looking for the Starforge right now, so
yeah. Do you know what the Starforge does?
I'm roughly aware of it. I had some things spoiled for me when I first was going through lore videos before these guys decided, hey, Storm, you need to play this
Whacker,
game.
Crispy. Yeah. You have to take the sand bath now.
Okay. Oh god.
It's just a shower head that shoots sand. You have to sand. You have to stand in there naked.
Oh, it's like prom night. But yeah, the World Devastators, they essentially like strip mine the surface of a planet, and then they have factories on board that convert the raw material strip mined into basically droid weapons for the new Empire. And it was a really cool idea. You know, they can actually end up building their own World Devastator clones with enough resources and time.
Yeah, and then you get into the Holtzman problems, or not Holtzman, Von Neumann problems.
Yeah. Wasn't there a Star Trek episode where they had like a the probes somehow gains sentience and it starts like trying to replicate itself or something?
Yes, in original series there was that. They have something like it in a next gen episode. And then of course that's pretty much straight up. It's not the self-replicating part, but there is a lot of that going on with V'ger of just the probe gain sentience.
That's how they destroy one of the universes in the Lex series.
Yep. God, Lex is such a fucking head trip.
I know. I stopped watching the series when the carrots thing started. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this.
Isn't Lex that weird show from the 90s that's like really low budget? That you guys were telling me about?
Low budget, French, extremely perverse in parts. And yet, for some reason, has one of the coolest, like, opening scenes ever, because the Brunon G war song is just bitchin'.
They knew where to spend the budget.
Is pretty good.
Sorry, repeat, Andy?
I was saying the ship itself was pretty good, like a giant dragonfly spaceship.
Yeah.
See, that sounds pretty rad. It's like some heavy metal.
Oh yeah, it too has planet. It's weird. Yeah, there's weird. There's like weird, not Cthulhu like Cthulhu, but like Lovecraftian horrors in there too. But
Interesting.
I would say that because it's sort of a byproduct of modern filmmaking, I'd almost call it Geigerian.
yeah, the dead do not honor the dead do not. He just kept saying shit like that.
So is there a lot of hidden penises in it, or?
Oh,
probably.
they're not even hidden.
So it is Geiger.
So this loser part of the empire, like somehow basically gets literally the keys to the most probably dangerous spaceship in the known galaxy.
Ah, yes, the Ford
And
Explorer.
he and like this genetically re-engineered space bimbo and a somewhat
Genetically
honoristic,
engineered
but
space bimbo.
yeah, and some honoristic bound but undead like zombie Venerian guy
Wow.
Yeah.
flying around.
The zombie assassin is the one with the haircut that I said, Crispy, this is how I thought you looked.
Oh, that's right. That's how I know the show, because you showed me that, and I'm like, Storm, what? Yeah, Storm's idea of what I look like and what I actually look like were so different from each other. Like, the first time that we saw each other on camera, he was just, like, genuinely shocked. He's like, you look so normal. I'm just like, Storm, what did you think I looked like?
You know what?
And you hear Tex laughing in the background, being like, don't be so judgmental.
In a weird way, Lex is like the opposite side of the coin that Red Dwarf is on, if you think about it.
I haven't
In
really
that it's
seen...
kind of... It's
either.
vaguely comedy, but vaguely... action.
It's very dark.
Yeah, and it's kind of on the darker side, whereas Red Dwarf was sort of more... Actually, it's been so long since I've seen Red Dwarf, I don't think I can actually give an accurate assessment.
Comedy sci-fi. Red Dwarf is British, Lex is French.
Yeah.
So is there a lot more tits out in Lex versus...
Yes.
Oh, the food dispensing devices on the ship?
Yeah,
They're just nipples.
of course they are. God, European...
You gotta remember, the ship
stuff
is like
so
a
much more-
biological monstrosity. Who's probably the most moralistically, like, pure character in there if you think about it. Well, I don't know, he does kill planets, so... But then again, that's only because of what's his name? Stan?
My name is Stan.
Stan, only Stan.
I also don't know what I'm necessarily drawing right now, but I thought of alien stuff, so I'm going with it.
You gotta give him a big old Squidward head. Oh, never mind.
No, I got ideas, Andy. I got some ideas.
This looks like a monster from like the 1920s or something like that. Like, it came from Quadrant V.
Kind of is, probably.
This monster. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I have realized, as of late, just how much my arts and style has been influenced by, like, retro sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be right back. I must use the restroom, gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay.
Crispy, can I start making lore for this thing?
Please do.
Okay, so it's black and white era movie. This thing crash lands. Its form of nourishment is knowledge. So it has to, like, it literally, like, eats people's thoughts and books, anything that's like educational or wise. But the process gets destroyed in the process. So they're like, if we don't stop this thing, it'll eat every book and, you know, form of media in the world, and we'll all go back into the caveman era.
It's a metaphor for communism.
You're gonna put a vein that has like a hammer and sickle.
Oh my god, hold on, let me see how do I want to do that real quick. First of all, I gotta remember...
Don't do that.
Hammer and sickle's kind of like that, right?
No, don't do it, we're gonna kill out.
Look, I'm not drawing a swastika, like...
Something just as bad. Anyway,
Yeah.
That folded neck is where they put like the headpiece on.
Oh yeah, no, definitely like that's where all the beard tape is at. God, this looks like something that would be what is it, like Astounding Science? This definitely looks like something that would be on the cover of Astounding Science.
Oh my god, you know what the moral of this movie would be?
What?
Like rock and roll, like they play rock and roll music, and that's what kills. Because like anything ignorant kills this thing. So they start playing like rock and roll music.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely it. Like they play like,
and they're like trying to show like, see, the youth of today are rotting their own brains.
They play Peggy Sue, and the alien explodes, and they say that clearly rock and roll music is a danger or something.
But
and
they
then
don't
turn and look at
understand.
the camera.
They don't understand that this movie popularized rock and roll because they're like, oh, rock and roll killed the alien. All right.
As it always.
It's like, no, that's not the point of the movie.
Yeah, it's like it's like the parental advisory sticker on music labels. It was the best worst thing they could have done because it just showed people what the best music was.
Like this creature goes in, yeah, H.G. Wells, old 1920s or something, black and white. The creature just lumbers about. It grabs a book and it like holds the book up and it just starts burning and like its head pulsates and like glows. That's how it eats.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, because of this creature's great and vast intellect, it requires much more than we're able to. We're so stupid compared to it. Even the Library of Congress would probably feed it for a day.
Yeah, it'd just be like outrageous stuff like that. It's like the entire encyclopedia has been consumed in an hour. There's no way of satiating its knowledge thirst.
It's thirst for knowledge. It's like people's like, I don't want to read books like that dumb alien.
A return.
Andy and I have just been coming up with all sorts of lore for this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, he needs to be vaguely human because that's all the budget can afford in terms of costume design.
You gotta put like a pipe belt, like what are those?
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it has to be like a piece of PVC or like
conduit. What is it? Yeah, you know,
piping.
You know, the ribbed hoses and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, God, now I just want to make some like cheesy sci-fi costumes.
Well, we're doing it right now, aren't we?
Oh, I mean, we are.
Remember, we got to get like cards made of all this shit.
Oh God, yeah, I need to go through and just like, I mean.
It's like our trash pail kids.
You just gotta talk to Digi because he'll do it. You just gotta actually like go through and just like make it so it's card friendly in terms of proportioning and everything.
The creature from Armax 7. What's Armax 7? I don't ask.
Don't worry about it. Pray you never go there.
I would almost say like the Venusian Horror, but I think there is a movie that's based off of that.
Probably.
Hey, Crispy, do you mind throwing up the picture I've been working on?
Sure, I'll throw it up.
Yeah, just wanted to show this off. I'm doing this for Casper.
1 second. Let me see if I can just copy and paste it. I should be able to. Hey, there it is. So yeah, that's what Storm's been working on. You know, really putting some time and thought into it. Wow, you've even done the chainmail. That's pretty wild. Yeah.
It was a mistake, but by the time I realized it was a mistake, I was already 2/3 done.
It'd be like that.
Whoa.
Meanwhile...
Well, okay, to be fair, Crispy, you've been working on this for 15 minutes. I've been working on that.
No, that's true. I'm literally just shitposting. You're putting your time and effort into it. It's just a funny juxtaposition, just like you're just carefully crafting this, and I'm just like, I'm gonna make this weird shit.
They find out about this monster because there's a bunch of like libraries that like all the books are missing and like the librarians are dead. because he like ate their brains, but not like, he just all their knowledge he just slurped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why are you putting the? I was gonna say, why are you putting the Klingon symbol on there? But that's not the Klingon symbol.
Close enough.
You're the Klingon symbol.
You're a towel. There we go.
Your face is
I don't know. I was like,
cow.
what's like a vaguely sci-fi looking squiggle symbol I can do?
Yeah.
Ramshackle says, I realized something, and now I await his answer in horror.
I'm scared. Alright.
You know what? That reminds me of that SCP where it's like they showed him like the movies from the 20s, like, yes, we are very scared of this. He's like, ha, you are scared. Yes. Don't show him the thing.
I saw a meme earlier today where it was like SCP objects, and one was like this really long, elaborate horror description, and the one was like a cow that like excretes soy or like Szechuan sauce or something.
I think they have some SCPs where they're technically mundane, but the way to describe it makes it sound horrifying. Like,
yeah. I mean, plenty of those.
I don't know enough about SCP lore.
The difficulty with SCP is a lot of the early ones, and they were good about this for a while, was some of these aren't meant to be world-ending or even all that outstanding. They're meant to be a weird thing this organization holds on to, because it's still like, well, this breaches reality, and we don't want regular people to know about this, because maintaining baseline reality is kind of our job. But we're not going to destroy it, because that's against our protocols. However, as things went on, every subsequent SCP, after like 3,000 or 4,000, like every other one is some big world-ending what the fuckery.
Yeah, just for lack of a better term, power creep.
It was kind of an exercise in a specific way of telling a story, because the way of telling a story was like basically like redacted art. Like it's not as much like saying you describe what something is by saying, giving like,
its containment procedures first, then its description,
what it does,
then the logs of how it was discovered.
Sometimes they'll like redact stuff to make it a little more mysterious.
Which I think that's definitely a better way of going about it than just being like, this thing can destroy the world. It's like, no, just make it.
So Nirmitya says, why do I hear this alien saying, well, actually? Ramshackle says, in his realization, the Hello Kitty Gundam crossover is pure mind horror. Hello Kitty turned a Gelgoog into a chibi, but no one knows what the hell happened to the pilot, like the mech gained a level of sentience.
Wait, I did not know there was a Hello Kitty Gundam crossover.
Then we're truly lost.
There's a Gundam series where all the Gundams are like little chibi robots running around.
Yes, SD Gundam. That was, I mean, I enjoyed it when I was like a younger kid, but now that I'm older, I'm like, why did they make this?
This is another one of those ideas that I think about every once in a while that I think, I really wish I'd start working on it, but the idea of like some kind of galactic wide wave crossed over and sentient life somehow was transferred into the machine. So like you have spaceships and little cleaner droids and space spaceships that have like human personalities stuck inside them somehow.
That would be interesting. You'd have to kind of like hammer out how you want that lore to work, but I like the idea.
It's like their bodies disappeared complete, like their organic bodies disappeared. There's like, but their consciousness and what they are as a person. Some might even say their souls are like somehow transferred into like maybe a machine. Like there are going to be some that are stuck inside of a food dispenser. There are some that are inside of a spaceship. Space colonies or space stations would have like multiple systems would have like individual personalities inside them and such like that.
Oh god, it's like a Space Station 13 round. The wizard reanimates all the fucking objects in the station and they start killing people.
Well, I would think that most of the machines wouldn't have...
Oh, I'm just speaking from experience. I've definitely been murdered by a vending machine at Space Station 13 before.
I can believe that, having finally played some of it now.
Yeah. Well, they don't really have wizards in 14, which I think is...
They do. Yes, they
Oh,
do. I've encountered them
Oh, they
now.
do now. Okay, good. I didn't know if they did or not. Yeah,
I've
wizards will...
encountered the portal wizard. He is upsetting.
Yeah, the wizards will fuck your day up. Did they explode your ass off, too?
Potentially.
Yeah, they do that. I'd be disappointed if they didn't blow your ass off.
Small your dick and explode your ass. Get bent, loser. Penis blast!
Oh, God. Send him to the penis explosion chamber.
I can't help but this guy's a part of the Federation. Sorry, Crispy.
No, it's fine. I'm kind of going for that sort of Star Trek aesthetic, just, more cursed.
A universe where the Federation got taken over by, like, hostile aliens.
Yeah, the Federation discovered ketamine.
Well, I mean, there is that drug Ketracol White from...
So all the Jem'Hadar are in a K-hole. That's why they're so good in combat.
Remember, we still have, like, 11 more years until, like, Ireland gains independence, according to Star Trek.
That's right. I forgot.
Like 2036 or something like that.
You'll get there one day, Ireland. We're gonna get in trouble.
There was a scene cut out of the movie. If this creature eats knowledge, then what does it defecate? Don't ask stupid questions.
Don't ask stupid questions, Billy.
It's like the little boy that wears the baseball cap that follows around a scientist, even in dangerous situations when he shouldn't at all.
They're just like poking through its shit, like that one scene in Jurassic Park later, and it's like, why do we keep finding these posts with green text in them?
My favorite part of sci-fi, old sci-fi, is like the weird weakness that we discovered the alien has. Like, I think one, they were fighting like an indestructible horror, and then like bleach falls on it, and it starts like steam comes off its skin, it runs off, and they're like, it's weak to bleach.
That's not necessarily an old thing in sci-fi, Andy, because I remember watching Signs, and then it turns out the aliens were deathly allergic to something that covers 75% of the planet.
Here's the thing about that movie, Crispy. They might not have actually been aliens.
Oh, God, no.
They might have been demons.
No, God.
Actual demons.
Fucking M. Night Shyamalan, man.
He does have he does. You also have to understand he has a weird proficiency to make water the weakness of something like
he has a weird proficiency for a lot of things, Andy. I've seen enough of his movies.
Then you can see Lady in the Water by him with Paul Giamatti.
I did not know that he did Lady in the Water. Oh, man.
You were going to say something about my whole, like, they were demons!
Oh, I was just going to say the first date movie my wife and I ever did was Glass, and that was... Oh, God, that movie.
The Village, I was so looking forward to it.
Oh, my God, The Village was so bad.
I don't know if I want to say it's bad. It's just that I was so disappointed about the realization that I don't know if I want to spoil it. I don't know if it cares. Okay, I was upset that there was no monster. I was upset that it was basically, an inside job on the Amish cult.
Just never mind. I'm not going to say what I was thinking, but it definitely was not a version of Amish now.
Also, his brain now is just chewed bubblegum.
Yeah, that works. I mean, that's probably what they had on hand to make the costume with.
A guy thought of this movie when his kid wouldn't finish the stems of his broccoli and instead stubbed a big wad of chewed bubblegum on the end of it.
Yeah. And the dad was up on Benny's for 3 days and he got the idea. Yeah, I could definitely make him like a broccoli man.
No.
No,
I thought it was blue. Like transparent and blue, but this is good. This is good.
I guess I could do a blue, but no, I could definitely see this thing in like a 50s movie. I don't know what he's yelling about, but
Okay. So you have to explain Ramshackle. Is this scene from something, or is this something you're fever dreaming?
what is he talking about?
Hello Kitty turning the Gelgoog into a chibi.
I don't think it's a fever dream because I remember seeing a GIF of like Hello Kitty in a mobile suit.
It's an actual. Jesus. Okay. I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, mobile suit Hello Kitty.
Mobile Suit Kitty. Mobile Kitty 3 wing.
No,
paws.
Crispy.
What?
Either Neon Genesis Hello Kitty.
Oh my god.
Kitty. I think you've done that already.
I don't know if I've done BattleTech Hello. I don't think I've done anything with Hello Kitty, if I'm honest.
I'm saying Neon Genesis, but I think it. What's the one with like Kenji getting the mech Kenji?
Yeah, that's Neo Genesis.
Yeah.
And it's Shinji, not Genji.
And it's
Genji getting the fucking alt mode, or...
place bigoted stereotype statement right here.
Yeah. Speaking of Evangelion, God, I do not like the mobile suits designs in the new series.
You're right, this is a nightmare.
It's just like a whole lot of... Huh?
You said you saw the artwork for that guy that did Electric State, right?
Possibly? I don't remember.
It's like you have these robotic monstrosities, but they have like the 1920s cartoon animal heads on them for some reason.
It sounds familiar.
Hold on, let me
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like if you sent me a picture of it, I would probably know what you're talking about. Also, I don't know what I'm drawing necessarily, but I like where it's going. Oh, I mean, it's some kind of mech, but... Oh, speaking of Hammer and Helldivers 2...
They must have paid a lot of money to have everything replaced with about the movie.
No, which series?
Electric State.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that off the top of my head.
By Simon Staunhag.
What the hell did I just watch, Ram?
What did he send you?
It's in memes in the auxiliary. You can find it, and Samurai, that is delightfully horrifying. Also, just you'll have to watch it.
Oh god, I'm scared to go look.
I'm scared of these prices!
Kind of funny how we're scared to go back to where we
that.
were.
Oh my god, there's more than one episode. That's the scary part about all of that.
More Gundam noises.
Autistic Gundam noises intensify. The best part is that's not even me saying anything, even though I'm autistic. That's canon. God, fucking... I enjoyed watching Gundam 00, but my god, the main characters being like, I am Gundam, it's just the dumbest shit.
Like, explain that to me.
Explain what to you?
Like, what are you talking about? I am Gundam.
Okay, so there's literally a scene in Gundam 00, where he says he's a Gundam. He's like obsessed with Gundams because essentially he was a child soldier who was rescued by a Gundam, which is how he ended up in the organization that's kind of like the protagonist of the series. But it's just like the Gundam thing, where he's this like quiet, withdrawn protagonist that's just like only cares about the robot, even though all these girls that are into him. Because that's
okay. I see what you're
fucking
saying.
yeah. Literally, like, these two girls are both attracted to him the entire series. Like, no, I am Gundam. And he's just like, bruh. I'm also drawing this completely off the cuff, but I like where it's going. Although I do want to... This is kind of what it's like when I draw in my sketchbook, although I tend to use pen for that, and I'm much more loose than this. I have a lot of sketchbooks full of just pen drawings.
That's like almost eldritch horror levels. Like this all-powerful cute creature shows up.
That was his point, and he's right.
The Uwu out of space.
Ah, yes, the hunchiest back. It is hunchy.
Hello.
Samurai.
Foolish samurai.
Meanwhile, a foolish samurai warrior, wielding a foolish samurai warrior, step forward to oppose a foolish samurai warrior.
Oh my god. I just remembered the one version of Feel Good Ig, but it's Aku. It's like Aku, but he was like, when he's calling for the henchmen, he's just like, 30 minutes or it's free.
Yep.
I've been noticing that there's there's a lot of repeating of the concept of like the villain wins or something, or the hero disappears and the villain starts getting depressed.
Yeah, I could see that. You know.
Where they start looking for the hero so that they can have another battle or something like that.
I blame Megamind.
Well, it's an older concept than that, and I think it kind
No,
of...
I know.
Oh, okay. I think it kind of has to do with, what you call it? A lot of people, when they complete a job that they think they hated, they find that they missed it later.
Oh, yeah, no, I could totally see it if we're going at it from that perspective.
Or, like, you have somebody who you used to just hate seeing every day, and then when they're gone, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I hate seeing that Storm song guy. No.
Hey! Nice. Delightful. And I give you kisses and belly rubs, and...
I don't want to hear you say I want to give you belly rubs again.
I'm gonna give you all the belly rubs at the meetup.
God, it's gonna get weird, isn't it? I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, what's happening? If I'm in a pit and I hear Goodbye Horses, I'm gonna be mad. It's like Whacker put you up this, didn't he? And he's like, put the lotion on, Crispy.
You put the lotion on its skin, or you'll get the hose again.
I say it a lot, but God, I reference that movie too much.
Yeah.
We had the brilliant idea of mixing the two movies of Hello Kitty and Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh my God!
I am Jerusalem, and you're my friend.
You got Hello Kitty with the silver mask covering her leopard face.
defend.
Yeah, totally.
One cannot stand before God and say that I was told by others to do thus. This will not suffice.
I had another horrible thought. Kingdom of Heaven, but it's happy tree friends.
Sorry, now my brain is just going on about Hello Kitty as Baldwin.
Oh
When I was 16, I won a great victory. Now I know I shall not see 30. Assemble the armies.
Turn your armies around, Aki-chan, or we will surely perish here.
Saladin-chan. Oh my god, this is getting so cursed.
I think we have to make this movie now.
Okay, next week we're making Hello Kitty and the Crusades.
Hello Kitty.
I mean,
yeah, it's so
well, here's the thing: it's more cursed than like My Little Pony and the Crusades, or My Little Pony and Kingdom of Heaven. It's like
I will say I'm not going to be here next week because I will be on vacation. But definitely next stream we could do Hello Kitty and the Crusades.
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna say right now, Andy. It's already been done. We have My Little Pony and the Crusades.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
not surprised.
Crispy, I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
The Hello Kitty and the gang have to fight in a post-apocalyptic Furby zombie nightmares hellscape, where there are just hordes and hordes of Furbies that they're gunning down.
Yes, Furb of the Living Dead.
Day K or Daisy. Daisy! Uta!
It's like Return of the Living Dead. I was like, I thought you said if we destroyed the head and destroyed the zombie. It worked in the movies.
I don't know about you guys, but I want to take this thing and boil it in some Zatarans, then crack it open and suck its brains out.
You know, I just kind of realized I'm basically making like a Guyver, but...
It reminds me of that series. I don't know the series, but it was like a model, and it was like... They were mechs, but they looked like they were giant beetles that you piloted or something. It was weird.
Big bad Beetleborgs?
No, like...
You might be thinking of Guyver.
No, Guyver is like power armor. This is like giant mechs that people come into, but they look like beetles. Like humanoid beetles.
Guy on Broadway says, Mom...
go ahead.
Guy on Broadway says, Mom, can we have word? Mom says, we have word at home. Word at home.
It does kind of look like a Covenant Elite now that you say it. Only more bug-like. I'm not gonna
I think it was called like
lie.
Kingdom of something.
The Covenant Elites definitely inspired a lot of me drawing Digigrade characters like this. Like
well, here's this article. The very first isekai anime was about a dude, his fairy, and his giant bug mecha.
Is this
That might be it, actually.
No, So a lot of people think that isekai is a relatively new genre. Like, even in the time of Escaflowne, it was already fairly well trodden. It's just that the isekai, like, trash wave that started with Sword Art Online hadn't really been a thing yet.
Yeah, that's definitely a trash wave. I'm sorry to anyone that likes isekai, but I think most of it is just hot garbage. At least nowadays it is, anyway.
You know, I like isekai. Also, okay. I think I know the series name. It's called Aura Battler Dunebine.
Yeah, that's literally what I just read the name, or not the name of the synopsis of. It's, yep.
Yeah. Well, when I say I don't like isekai, it's not so much the idea itself, it's just, like, most portrayals of it, like, all the whole meme stuff that goes on with isekai nowadays is just, like...
Well, yeah, again, that's the Sword Art Online and later generation of isekai.
Well,
yeah.
I read that stuff, and I usually try to find the four-leaf clover, you know? Like, there's some good...
So,
I'm
UNC
sure there's
Samurai...
good stuff, but...
So UNC Samurai, what we're talking about is the first, like, anime manga that is considered that genre. Obviously, if we really get into the technical definition of isekai, then I think like the oldest isekai is the Voyage of Braun, which is Irish myth. And then yeah, we could count, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as early instances. But yeah, no, in the literal sense though of like the isekai genre, it's this Aura Battler Dunebine that Andy remembered and that we rediscovered here. 1983.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything of it. I just remember they had this one, like, this hobby shop that would have, like, one... It was mostly for trains. It was a giant train set. But they had, like, 1/4 of the store. They had, like, horror movies and Gundams, and they had a model of this thing in there, too. And I was like, oh, this is interesting.
I think I may have seen, like, an episode or two of this.
Send it to me. I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, there's a cover that looks very Battletech. Let me show you that one.
Yeah, sending you one as well.
Let me see this.
Interesting. Barring some of the kidisms, I feel like this kind of matches a lot of what Crispy and I both go for. The kind of retro...
Oh yeah, the art style of that is very retro sci-fi, and I haven't seen the series, but I definitely recognize those designs. So
I'm gonna send you a link, and if you like follow the link, it'll show you more mech, just like like they literally look like giant beetle robots.
Yeah, I've seen those designs before. I just never knew what they were from. Okay, that makes sense then. Small side note, if people want some really awesome retro sci-fi artists to check out, 3 off the top of my head, John Harris, Sid Mead, and Richard Jimenez are all ones that I would recommend checking out. Richard Jimenez is, I guess, more of like science fantasy. He's one of the guys that did Meta Barons, but it's really awesome artwork if you guys can get a chance to look at it. Sid Mead, I would imagine a lot of people probably know, but still.
Yeah. Well, once you're dealing in art, the line between fantasy and sci-fi starts to diminish
it does
quicker.
But it's like
whereas when you're dealing in the technicals of writing, then they're more distinct.
That's true.
I would argue.
Go ahead, Andy.
I was going to say I would argue that this Aura Battler Dunebine is probably more space opera.
It's very much a space opera. I just more in terms of like subject matter. I guess I want to say, especially with like Sid Mead is like the godfather of a lot of modern sci-fi stuff. If you don't know who he is, you've definitely seen his work in Blade Runner, Aliens, Turn A Gundam, a few other things. But yeah, he's very and like basically like this art style of Mass Effect. That's him. And then John Harris, and also John Beckley too. They're both really awesome artists that do a lot of spaceship art. John Harris in particular has a really awesome way of portraying like stuff on the horizon, mass floating in space, just all this really awesome stuff. Definitely recommend checking them out. Sorry, Andy, go ahead. I kind of went up in a tangent there.
I'm going to kind of go on my own tangent of what I think is the appeal of isekai to some people, and it literally is the aspect of like a rebirth or being taken to an alternate realm where you can express yourself more or do something where you think that you could follow your own passions and such. Because this coming from, a country like Japan and even our own sometimes, it's like there's a lot of people who feel worthless and feel like that they're not doing anything or contributing to anything, and like the idea of being whisked away to another world where it's very much escapism and very much power fantasy, and but again, it's like people like myself who's like, I wish I had done better, or will do better. It's like here's a chance.
I get that. I totally see that as being a big appeal of a lot of it. And, coming from Japan, I can see that in a lot of ways, especially with, like, their work culture and just the amount of pressure put onto people to succeed. You know.
Yep.
That's not even barring, you know, stuff in Japanese history in terms of like post World War II and everything being a factor, because that definitely factors into some degree. Just the whole
mecha and kaiju are very much a byproduct of World War II's effect on their culture.
Yeah, but I mean, part of it too is like, and this is something interesting I found out listening to a podcast on the Om Shinrikyo cult. But Japan, like post World War II, was very much in a sort of like, there was very much a spiritual vacuum, for lack of a better term, in terms of Japanese belief and religion and spirituality, because for a long time they had believed in state Shinto, and then, you know, once World War II happened and that essentially got dismantled, they really just had like a spiritual lurch.
Well, and part of that was...
yeah.
Well, part of that goes back to, like, prior to the feudal... Well, not prior to. During the feudal period, there was something called the Onan War, where the state basically forcibly disbanded several Buddhist monasteries, and it actually turned into a war because the Buddhist monasteries had their own armies. In order to prevent them from having basically religious power, and so then the state sanctioned its own version of Shintoism.
Yeah, which was state Shinto.
Yeah, this was also why, you know, they have this relationship with religion that, even to the Chinese, is a little bit bizarre. Because the concept of spirituality and religion are kind of divorced from each other, which means you have people in Japan who are atheists that still believe in demons.
Interesting.
I
can kind of get where that's coming from.
Or,
you know, without getting too into the weeds.
They have fundamentally mystical beliefs without having a religion.
Yeah, they don't... There's not necessarily a structure, per se, but they have beliefs in certain things. I can see it.
Now, some of them very much do have.
Oh, I'm not saying that's not everybody. I'm just saying, like, in terms of, like, just trying to put this into perspective, because, you know, like, for example, Om Shinrikyo, like, for people that don't know, and without getting too into the weeds on it, because it's a whole thing, they were essentially the cult that perpetrated the Tokyo subway attacks in the 90s. Yes. But a lot of their stuff started out with very much like spiritual Buddhist belief that was essentially twisted by the guy that founded the cult.
Shoko Asahara.
Yes.
Who declared himself the Christ.
Yeah, he was also like mostly blind, except for like he was like like mostly blind, but because he still had some eyesight, he actually became a bully when he went to the school for the blind that he went to. But seriously, no, that like if you're into that sort of like true crime cult stuff, it's a very interesting story. I'll just leave it at that, because I know not everyone's into that stuff, but it's like they basically kind of got up to like Cobra levels of just crazy stuff that they did. Yeah. It's a really fascinating story if you want to look into it. But yeah,
they actually were buying up equipment and preparing a coup against the Japanese government.
They were, yeah.
There was a plan to kidnap the emperor.
Yeah, they had a lot of plans, probably because they were on so much acid, but. Anyway, it's an interesting story if you want to look into it. There's plenty of places I'm sure you can find it.
It is 429 or 629.
It is. No, I figured we were getting close to the end there, which is fine. I'm pretty much just wrapping up here anyway. So
I want to say real quick.
I think Andy has the last thought here.
Sorry, I just want to say, Crispy, this looks like a Mobile Suit Iron-Blooded Orphans graze and a grasshopper or a cricket or a locust fused together.
I actually really like that as a description for it. I just kind of did this as like I just drew the face because it just wanted to. It basically I kind of started with the face because it reminds me of this one drawing that inspired me a lot to draw some mech stuff as a kid, and it just kind of turned into a Bugman from there. But no,
I wanted to say Azaku, but it's too gaunt and stringy for Azaku.
Well, I mean,
very much.
It's got the sort of grunt look of a lot of mobile suits, but I could definitely turn this into something fun to use later. But that's
this is like a grunt suit. Like there's like they send like hundreds of these things in, and like
absolutely.
Yep. All right, so
Yeah.
Remember to stick around for Cookie Mama's stream, ladies and gents.
Yes,
and,
she will be coming up shortly. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We hope you had fun. And maybe you learned something? I don't know. I just hope people enjoyed the stream. So, at any rate, hope you have a good rest of your week and a good your Tuesday. I will be gone next week, but I hope to see you all in 2 weeks. So until then, see you all later.
And also remember, I will always love you.
The aristocrat.